Ahoy there, it is I, Rainhat, with a art video this time, and this video is basically, I tried following a blank tutorial, but I'm not using that title. There was a point where, that was a trend and it was very popular, but it kind of annoyed me, because everyone was doing it, and now I'm doing it in a different format. So, Jyundee, I'm copying her art. Why? Because it's good, and that's how you create amazing pieces. You take your notes from someone that's better than you. So Jyundee, this is her DeviantArt account. As you can see just by looking at it, her art is incredible. Incredible skill. I could not produce something like this if I bloody dreamt it. However, Borodante, a YouTuber that I follow, he put up a video recently called "Don't Try to Be Better at Art, Aim for Something." So I thought, yeah, I'll do that, because Borodante has never failed me when it comes to art advice, and I aim to create something like this. So, this is the tutorial that I was watching. This is the one. But this is what we ended up with. Need to start with the sketch, obviously, and she did the sketch and didn't really show that, so I couldn't really take too many pointers from her. But what I did understand, that my skill in art is quite low, but my understanding of art is quite high. If someone shows me how to do something, I could probably do it. And that's where references come into play. References is my safety net. Without a reference, the picture looked very horrible, actually. Revolting almost. And with a reference, it looks very good. Even with reference, I still had to change some things, but I think every artist has to do that. So this is a fantasy creature, sort of. You can't really tell in the final piece, because maybe my contrast still isn't that great. But she has goat ears. Those flaps of hair are actually goat ears, because why not? It looks kind of cool. This character is actually from a image that I drew quite a long time ago. There's actually a video on this channel about that. There are two girls that I drew. One that was light and one that was dark. And I mean that exactly how you think. I mean that. So it was like dark hair and eyes and light skin, or light hair and eyes and dark skin, that kind of thing. So I did her, but she looks nothing like her now. And that's fine, because now I have a much better art piece in place of that. The dress is sort of 1800s style-ish, but still not quite there. I did use a dress for reference. I don't know how accurate it is. Anyway, once I got into doing this whole drawing thing, I put all the base colours down like I was told to by Jyundee, if I'm saying that right. And then it was just a lot of pushing the darks further and further back, and my lights, I had to push them further back as well. I did so many colours to the skin, pinks and a purpley dark colour for the shadowy areas, which are quite hard to find. I just put them under the fringe and the neck area. I used the airbrush a lot, a crazy amount actually. Even some of the sharp lines I did with an airbrush, which probably wasn't ideal. When I was learning to paint faces, this was definitely a no-no. It was all hard brushes and then you blend everything out. But that's not what Jyundee does. In fact, one thing that she did that I was told that I should definitely not do is jump into lines. Just after she took away her line art, she put more lines on it. She drew the eyelash line and the eye crease and the line under the eye and a line around the nose, all that stuff. Which, you know, I was learning that was all forbidden, but she does blend them out, which she doesn't really explain. So I guess that knowledge, that prior knowledge, helped a lot. So when I finally finished painting this face, the sketch that I was following was a bit too stylized, I guess. So I had to warp the face to make it a bit more soft and round, quite a lot more soft and round. I did use a reference, but I didn't follow it completely, so maybe that was all my fault. I had no idea what I was doing for these eyes. I was trying to copy her as best as I could. She didn't really explain it too well, but I'm not that surprised. Quite a lot of tutorials tend to do that. So again, I was just pushing the lights into dark constantly and making the highlights more prominent, I guess, by doing that. They seem whiter, even though they're not the whitest white. The same was for the nose and the lips. She didn't really go into detail on those at all. I guess it was more of a brief skin and hair tutorial, sort of, or a general painting tutorial, maybe, even that. I had some prior pointers about painting lips, so that helped when I was doing these ones, but having her as this reference made the difference. When it came to the hair, I was actually quite surprised that it turned out alright, because again, she started just adding different strokes to the hair, and I did add a couple of colours to the hair beforehand, you know, the light pink and a bit of purpley to the blue. Then apparently all I had to do was just add a couple of strokes, blend stuff a little bit with strokes, I guess, and you'll have hair. I didn't exactly know what I was doing. I like for most of the picture, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I guess for the hair, the main thing is keep it simple. Don't add too many strokes. You want big chunks of hair. You don't want lots of little details. Keep the details for the edges. Yeah, I learned that outside of this tutorial as well, so maybe I'm giving this person too much credit. That's not nice, I shouldn't say that. Well, you know, little things like that make quite the difference to the picture. These flower things, I had a lot of trouble with them. I had no idea what they were. The only reference I had was, you know, Jyundee's image. So I was thinking, okay, let's make them see-through. Let's make the edges very light colour and the middle a sketchy dark colour and blend it out, sort of. I redid these a few times till I just winged it. I stopped looking at Jyundee's for reference, which is why they don't really look alike at all. They have a general shape that is similar, but they're just weird flower things, fantasy flower things that are also see-through. But I like them. I don't know why I put them in the picture, but I guess just to make it look magical or fairy-like. I don't know. So I got the softness, maybe, or maybe it wasn't as soft and innocent looking as her picture. We were using completely different softwares as well, so I wasn't using the same brushes as her or anything like that, but Krita has quite a lot of nice brushes. They did have the airbrush and they had a pen tool, but you probably see me selecting it. It's a bit like a what are those pens called? They're like quills, but without the feather. Those pens, they had a tool like that, which was good for eyelashes. There's a lot of blending going on in this picture. The eyelashes are blended out, the edges of the hair I blended out, the dress I blended out. Also, because well, for a start, I didn't really have to concentrate on the dress, so I could risk blending that out. I did something else, and I added a fog around the arm place because it's not as detailed as it probably should be. So I put fog in, with a fog there's less visibility, so you don't have to put as many details. So it doesn't look as bad as it is. So that's a tip on how to cheat and make your pictures look a lot better than they are. But in the end it turned out alright, and like Borodante was saying, you might be bad at art, and trust me, I'm not the best at art at all, but you can always aspire to be a thing. I think I could learn a lot more by doing things like this and experimenting like this than sitting in a classroom following general step-to-step things when I could experiment in my own way and figure things out for myself. So yeah, this was a learning experience for me. Maybe it was a learning experience for you, I don't know. Maybe you just want to listen to me ramble about art stuff. But I hoped you drew something nice, and farewell.